On this episode of Project Big Screen, we have a huge review, Avatar, Fire and Ash, the third Avatar movie. We also have a top 10 ranking of Christmas movies, a review of The Housemaid, starring Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney. All that and more coming up, including the Odyssey trailer and the Avengers Doomsday divisive teaser trailer. All that and more coming up on Project Big Screen. All right, Project Big Screen, December 12th. Second to last episode of the year 2025. Shout out Kirk. Kirk has, as he told me yesterday, knocked out by the worst flu of his life. Said as sick as he's ever been. So unfortunately, tried to make it work, but he's down for the count. But should be back next week. So just the four of us this week for Avatar, Fire and Ash, The Housemaid, a little Christmas movie ranking, some big trailers this past week, a lot of trailer news. All that and a little bit of more. But first, to start out with Avatar, Fire and Ash, one of the biggest releases of the year from James Cameron. Avatar, Fire and Ash follows Jake and Neytiri's family grieving their son's death. There's been some weird inconsistencies in which people have described when this movie leaves off. I've seen some people say it's immediately after the last movie. Some people say it's a year. I don't believe it's a year. I'm pretty sure it's like
how long does pregnancy last in Avatar world?
That's true. We don't know.
Yeah.
How long is a year?
Is just about as pregnant as she is when the movie leaves off in 2.
Yeah, pregnancies last for 3 years in the Avatar world, so it's hard to tell. They grieving their son's death, confronting a new aggressive volcanic Na'vi tribe called the Ash People, led by Varang, who allies with Korich, who's back again as the main villain. Obviously, Korich, played by Stephen Lang, is no longer a human being. He's a Na'vi, forcing these Solis into a darker conflict. 3 hours and 17 minutes long. It's 5 minutes longer than the last movie, I believe. James Cameron directing. The third Avatar movie. Significantly smaller gap between these last two movies compared to the first two movies. First two were a grand total of, I believe, 13 years.
Maybe more.
This one only, in terms of production, this one only three years in between. There may be a fourth and a fifth. We'll see if that happens. He's not strongly vibing with the fact he doesn't want to make any more of these, but the door is not, to say the door is open is almost an understatement. The door is kicked fully open. And now it just seems like it's going to be a choice of his whether he wants to jump out and do something else or not. Sam Worthington back again, folks. Zoe Saldana in this again. She once again will be in another movie that makes over $1 billion. Kind of a crazy fact on that. Sigourney Weaver, Una Chaplin is playing the new Varang, the new villain character. Kate Winslet, Joel David Moore, Edie Falco, Stephen Lang, Giovanni Ribisi, Jermaine Clement, David Thewlis, and Jack Champion, who is playing the divisive character Spider.
My boy.
Which this is very inside Barstool, for those who are maybe not Barstool Sports fans, we have a coworker we call Spider, and it's just he's a very, everyone loves Spider, good friend of everybody, and it's just a very strange thing because it's not like a normal nickname. It's like some guy named like Bub or something, or like Buddy. It's fucking Spider. So I just look up and I just expect to see our coworker. $338 million projected opening. That is actually lower than the projections. It's going to come in, I think, 12 million lower worldwide than, I think it's like 350 to 450 were the initial projections. It's going to come in just a smidge lower, but that is all relative. 88 million projected domestic. The first one did the second one did 134 million domestic, so it's a pretty steep drop off from the last movie. Though again, it's a weird thing to talk about because that is, look, we'll get into the James Cameron of it all, but he's been big swinging dick for the last couple of weeks in promotional stuff, and the movie is going to do significantly less than the last one, but it's still going to make north of $1.5 billion. People think it's going to make probably around 1.7. Does not seem like this is going to make 2. However, Avatar's always been about legs and repeat viewings. The first one obviously opened to like $11 and then made $2 billion. So it's crazy to, you can't really, you can't really ring the bell on any box office until it's like fully done with its run. But it is a little lower than expected. 68%, 91% split on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like the split for everything nowadays, I think. like everything we do is like 68, 90. 7.5 IMDb, 61 Metacritic, Letterboxd 3.7. I actually think that Rotten Tomatoes split is a little similar to the last one. Gooch is one of 6 diehard Avatar fans in the world.
In the world? It's going to make $1.5 billion. You could say maybe in the U.S.
6 in the U.S.
There we go.
Even then. There's Zootopia fans over in China now, buddy. Avatar Fire and Ash, hit us with your review.
Which fan base do you think is hornier, by the way? The Zootopia or the...
That's tough. I'm getting a lot of
American critics are super horny over this movie. I've listened to and watched probably a dozen Avatar Fire and Ash reviews. Every single one, somebody mentions how horned up they were over this character.
There's no avoiding it, Jeff. This is a horned up character. Varong is walking. She struts into every single frame. Gorgeous woman. Shout out.
There is one reviewer who I won't name by name, but he's like Una Chaplin. He goes, it's like who would have guessed or something, because a descendant of Charlie. And they're like, who would have guessed? I'm like, I don't know. Anyone who sees the name Chaplin in a movie, it's not like the most like, I don't know. I think it's a pretty like decent guess. Like, yeah, it's probably related. Anyway, go ahead.
Can you believe that she's the great granddaughter of Eugene O'Neill? Yeah, another random one. But yeah, so in 2010, when this franchise hit me, I was caught up in the spectacle of it, but not invested. And I think that's where a lot of people were with the franchise. And, you know, it was memed to death throughout the 2010s, all the way leading up into Avatar, Way of Water. Once Way of Water came in, I got way more invested into this franchise than I ever thought I would be. This world has swept me away. I've fallen in love with it in a way that I have not fallen in love with a franchise's world in years. And Fire and Ash just expands on that. I've heard people say this is a retread of Way of Water. I do disagree pretty heavily. I think this goes deeper and goes into different places that we haven't gone before. And James Cameron pulls out we're going to go bigger, we're going to go bolder this time, and he elevates it. I've seen this twice now. I think the pacing on the second viewing picks up quite a bit once you know where things are going. I think this is one of my favorite villain performances of the year. Not in Varong, but in Colonel Miles Quaritch. Stephen Lang has some of the best line deliveries from a villain this decade. I mean, there are some lines that he says that just had me laughing, had me just completely locked in. Loved it. Jake Sully, my guy. Man, this franchise, I love it. I'm landing at a 90. I want to hear what you...
Oh, my God.
A 90, yes.
Holy shit.
I left the theater at a 90. I came back, saw it again with Chris Klemmer. Yesterday, by the way, I walked into AMC Lincoln Square at 1 o'clock yesterday, and I just see a skinny little man sitting in the front row by himself. Skinny little man sitting in the front row, dressed in all blue, by the way. Shout out Chris.
That's his seat. That's where I watched him get up in the middle of Oppenheimer, which, by the way, I do think was his second showing. I think he said it was the second time he saw it. And I turned to our coworker, Fights, who I was with, and I said, I don't even want to say I think that's Klemmer. I know that's Klemmer. Like, it's his silhouette. That is his seat. He's the front row, which is, I've never sat there. I sat kind of off to the side for Lincoln Center. If you don't know, if you're not a New Yorker or don't know what the theater is, it is the biggest or second biggest or something like the IMAX. It's the best IMAX theater in the country.
Biggest theater in the Northern Hemisphere.
So
let me explain myself. So it was the only thing available was because I want to see it in that theater really badly because it's the best theater in the country. And the all they had was front row, but Gooch is like, some seats opened up actually before the showing, and I was able to sit actually next to Gooch. So I didn't actually have to watch it in the front row.
Because Gooch is in the Nolan seat, I feel like. Yeah, that's where Christopher Nolan sits.
We were in
right
row
where
D.
you sit.
We were row D, seats like 25 and 26, which was a perfect spot to see it. So it was great seeing it with Gooch because I love seeing movies with people that are like passionate, excited. So that was actually that was a fun treat. I'm surprised we didn't just because we talk every day at the office. I'm surprised we just didn't figure out we were seeing and see it together anyway.
I had only planned to see it once this weekend. Which was Thursday night, saw it in Dolby. I actually do prefer the IMAX. I preferred the IMAX viewing, but that could be just because that Lincoln Square screen.
It is. It's very. Like, if you ever are visiting New York, or if you live there and you haven't been, you're wasting dollars on dollars seeing anything not in that theater. It is the greatest theater experience in the world. It's unbelievable. Maybe not the world, at least in the U.S. I guess I haven't been
Best I've
anywhere
ever
else in
had.
the world. But
Yeah,
it's just unbelievable.
My only recommendation, if you can't get to one of those premium formats, is that you sit in the middle. I think that's the big thing with these 3D viewings, at least. To sit in the middle. That's like been James Cameron's like #1 thing. As in the middle as you can get. But yeah, 90 out of 100.
I hate
90.
3D movies. I hate
Yeah.
3D shit.
Also-
Jeff, you were absolutely right. You have to see this in 3D.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this is the exception.
it is the literal definition of the exception. I would never see anything else in 3D ever. Kenjac and I got sent to a Spider-Man Far From Home screening, and it was 3D for some reason. It always bothered me. I was like, "What the? Why are we?"
I went to
I think we were front row for that too. But anyway, so
I went to a Coraline re-release last year, and they put that in 3D for some reason.
That's
and
on you. That's on you. You're going to
It was
Coraline.
nauseating. Nauseating.
90 out of
Coraline?
100.
Coraline re-release. What are we
We'll
doing
put it-
here?
I'll put a pin in the 90 for a second because I have some questions about your 90 out of 100. Kenjac, love you go next. I will also say I'm going to know before I say my score. I also gave the last one a 91. I did love the last one. We'll get into this one.
That's
Kenjac,
crazy.
you're next.
That's crazier than Gooch.
So I like Avatar a decent amount. I would agree with Gooch's sentiment where like the first one is definitely way more like lights and whistles and let's entertain you with pure just spectacle, and then later in the Way of Water they definitely do a better job investing you, and that's just by function of like there being a family, instead of it being just like characters kind of coming together. And I would definitely agree with that. All that said, I do think this is out of the 3 movies the weakest. And I think that's just because of the connective structure within the movies. And you'll see this too. I saw it before even watching the movie. The biggest complaint is like it's repetitive, and it's a retread of the same things. I do find part of that to be true because you do, on the most meta sense, you do get that same sort of thing, right? Good guy gets knocked down, and then they beat the humans in a big final climactic fight. And humans lose the Battle of Little Bighorn for like the 3rd time in a row, like where they have this big overwhelming, or I guess the opposite of Little Bighorn, but they had this big battle versus the noble savages, and they're going to win, but then they lose at the last second. It's like, yeah, like we have seen that 3 times now in a row. And
Do you know
like,
the command in Premiere, was it Control C of the final battle from Way of Water, then paste for this
Oh,
one?
no. That was a strictly naval battle. Here we have air and naval.
Which was in the first one. So Control C from the first one, and then paste in this one.
Yeah, you put them together though. Peanut butter and jelly is a completely different product than peanut butter and jelly separately.
Yeah, I will say that I did like the Ash people because that does give the Na'vi more depth. It just like with that sort of character, whenever you get this was a big issue a lot with every movie that had like Native Americans for a very long time throughout Hollywood, was like the noble savage thing, which you see talk about a lot, where they're like, oh, they're in these angelic perfect figures, they're never do anything wrong, and then like over time movies have gone to like reflect like the reality, like every human being is not one specific way. And I think they kind of done the same thing with the Na'vi here, which gives them as like a species more depth. I think the movie just needed something new. And like one of the things I didn't love is that like the Enya pseudo magical science shit. I love how mysterious that is and how we don't know what that is. And the more they peel back on that, the less I like it. So I love that staying mysterious, and I don't like diving into that anymore. Also, too much spider. We'll get into that more, but obviously way too much spider. But on the other hand,
I love the spider. I love the divisiveness of Spider. I do love.
Fucking love him.
we can have a
I
dialogue on
actually like
spider.
the character, but I do love the device. It's just such a funny concept that character is divisive. Like the idea of like, this human guy with dreadlocks. Yeah.
Too much fucking spider, but we'll get to the spider. I think the big thing though is like this is at the end of the day like an entertainment product, right? And the entertainment value of it really works. Like visual effects better than anything else working in a movie theater right now. Like anything you're going to see this year, none of the visuals are going to compare to this. Audio is amazing and immersive, and I think you're connected enough to these characters that you feel invested in these big final fights, which are incredible. They're incredible in every single movie. They're some of the best stuff you're going to see. And I also really, well, then we talk about her more. I like Varane, like hot female antagonist sexually dominating the troops into submission. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so James Cameron. You couldn't script up a better James Cameron villain than that. So I would say entertainment value is all there. It's just, it definitely is, to me anyway, a retread of the core foundational stuff, especially when you compare it to like other movies we love. Like if you think of another trilogy in Lord of the Rings, where like you definitely structurally have like the same, obviously you need a climax in a movie, but like the climaxes build in scale each time. It doesn't feel like that's totally the case in these 3 movies. It's kind of like that same general scale in battle throughout the 3, which I don't totally love. But we'll get to that. Maybe it's Avatar 4 and 5 to get bigger. We'll see.
Final score on it?
72 for me.
72. Klemmer.
Okay,
Gooch
good
was
and
so
bad.
upset that somebody sat next to him during that second viewing during the Varang scenes. He's like, God damn it.
You know what does bother me though about these 3D glasses, and they're like way better than they used to be. Like they're way more comfortable. I think they work better, but there are the blinders on the side of them now where you cannot see the person sitting next to you at all, which obviously do not talk in the theater. But like I do like when I'm sitting next to someone to be able to like kind of like nudge them or like, you know, just, like, look over and be like,
see people's reactions. Yeah.
There's none of that when you have those glasses on.
Yeah, the IMAX 3D glasses are significantly different than the regular Real D that you get. They're a bit more souped up.
Blockier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good and bad on this. The good. I actually like this better than part 2. The first act especially was my favorite act of any Avatar movie, period. They deal with grief really well. There's a loss in part 2. And like a lot of these movies, all these action movies, where someone dies, just kind of move on to the next. This actually, they kind of live in the grief a little bit, which is all right. That made me like the characters a lot more. And because of that, I felt more connected to these characters than I have in any Avatar movie I've seen. And obviously it looks great for what it is. It's just, you know, a lot of computer animation, things like that. So the characters I like, the way it looked, was like the dialogue is just so atrocious. It's so bad. People are openly laughing in the theater, like, and not because they're funny lines, because it's just so stupid and ridiculous. And this happened, I'd say at least 24 times in my showing. People are openly laughing, including me, at like this stupid dialogue. It's so bad. I don't know why. I don't know how James Cameron keeps getting away with this, where you spend so much money on this movie, you can't hire a couple guys to punch up your script. Like, it's crazy. It goes on way too long. Each act is worse than the one before it. I do give this a 71, but I guess at the end of the day, though, like, why do you go to movies? Like, I go to movies because I love a good story, and I love dialogue, and that's what I love about a movie. If I want to see pretty pictures, I'll go to the museum. And I feel like this is just too much emphasis on pretty pictures, which and I don't even know if they're that pretty. Like, is a computer animated visual better than something you get from a Western or something you get from an actually great director who's directing stuff in this world? Like, I feel it's a cheat code, no? I don't know. So I liked it. I do recommend it, but
if it was easy,
it's
though,
tough for me
anyone
on
would,
this.
If it was easy, the rest of these big CGI spectacle movies would look
that's
at
not
this
true.
level.
No. No one else has the budget abilities that James Cameron has because he made Titanic.
A little bit.
So that's not true. No one else has this ability because of the financial element.
They spent $600 million on Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I don't know. I think that he does get the most mileage out of that budget too.
He does.
He does. He gets great mileage out of his budget. That is very true. Now,
not enough to hire someone to punch up that
that's
script.
true. He should spend a little more money on a script. Yeah, I'm in a weird spot with this one because I've grown to like these. I've liked the first better over time. I love the last one. This one just felt very repetitive to me, and I just cannot. I have a hard time looking past how dreadful the dialogue is in this movie. It's like how many times do they say fucking bro and cuz in the first 15 minutes?
I love that.
That was which is like. Here's my question for you.
For me,
do you grade this on a curve? Like, is there a curve here a little bit for you because you love it so much? Because like I definitely do on some things.
Absolutely, I think that this is one of the few franchises or movies in my lifetime that makes me feel like a child sitting in the theater again.
It's fair.
Like
I take back my crazy reaction to your score because of that. That's fair. I can get that. Like, I do the same thing with like Mission Impossible, maybe to an extent. Fallout's one of the greatest things ever made. But like I do that to an extent because there is like an element where when you say 90, I'm like, if this was Marvel or DC, like the Gooch would be like guy in the back of a window of a car, like who pisses on logos. That'd be him with the fucking movie. He'd be just pissing all over this movie because the dialogue is it's unbelievably bad. It's like okay, so as a whole, because I'll get to the James Cameron of it in a second, because I've kind of loved the James Cameron thing lately, but now I'm like I kind of got peeved by it this week after seeing the movie because I'm kind of like, all right, like you know, I don't think he really stood on his business, as the kids would say, this time as he did the last one, which I think he did with the last one. I think the last one's a big like drop his nuts on the table. This one, I don't think it was quite as much. In terms of the movie, I think there's some really good stuff. The biggest thing for me was its wasted potential. Like all the stuff with the Ash people is fantastic.
Yeah.
Is like even like the fucking like the Lost Lands or what. I didn't want to say that because that's that bad movie that came out this year. But like even being in like the volcanic. That scene where Varang and Korch are in her tent and he's like tripping out. I'm like, oh,
that was so awesome.
It was awesome. And I was like, unfortunately, because I've seen trailers and I kind of knew, like, I knew they weren't going to be there. And I was like, I just stay here. That whole scene with like the sniper up in the mountains. There's so much more to that. And like playing into the villain aspect. And I wish that would have been kind of the main character of this movie. But part of the problem with these movies, I think, and I think he ran into it more with this one, is there's just he wants to give too many characters a storyline. He wants to, and it just like, I wish this would have been more of like, you know, people always say like with Infinity War, that's Thanos' movie. I wish this was Korch and Varang's movie. Like I wish, and we're going to start spoiling it. I gave it a 77 out of 100. I liked it a little less my second viewing. I'm glad I saw it. This is still a fun, entertaining movie, and there's definitely like you have to bake that into it. Like you just do. Like I had a good time. I enjoyed it. My expectations and what I wanted compared to the last one, and the last one didn't have like, the last one wasn't like some penned unbelievable script, but I just thought it worked better. Where this one felt a little repetitive, and it felt the bloated spots. I just felt more because I didn't feel like I think we were just kind of like treading water at this point. No fucking pun intended. We'll spoil it here though. At the end of the movie, Korch basically does what he does in the last movie. Like, now you can interpret that however you want. That does the decision to have Korch just hurl himself off the floating rock into nothing is definitely we may or may not make another movie, right? Like did everyone take it that way? It's like, I would assume he's alive maybe, but like if they don't make another, maybe he just killed himself, which would be an unbelievable end to his. He just like and says, fuck this, I can't do this anymore. I hate these Na'vi people. I can't stand them. But like I would rather a cliffhanger with him and Varang, who Varang is a great character. Varang just disappears. Varang just kind of goes away, which is crazy to me because like you establish this great character and then you just kind of do nothing with it. And again, I think it's the fact that the dialogue's terrible, the script, like it's awful, but like I think he's trying to give too many characters too many things, and it just distracts from what should be the main part of the movie, which I think here is the villain. I think the Solis had the last movie. I think this should have been like more of a villain movie. And I think it just gets too distracted with their characters. I don't know if people agree with that.
Just a lot of mouths to feed. I don't think that's like even a question. Like that's part of the issue when you add in all these family members and all their subplots, especially when like I would say at least to the first movie, it's like, hey, it's Jake Sully, Neytiri, and then like kind of everything else. And now it's Jake Sully, Neytiri, kid 1, kid 2, kid 3, kid 4, kid 6, who has a connection with the planet and their super deranged magical science of it. Then you have Korch. Now you have the Varang. Now you have like Edie Falco as whoever, Giovanni Ribisi. Like there's just a lot of mouths to feed, and I just don't. I think we need to scale down.
Do we need the whole
in that weird? And the other guy that's like the hunter for the whale lotion. Like I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on.
I do think Cameron is. I could imagine Cameron on set looking at all the Sullys and being like, "Fuck, we gave him too many kids." Shit.
I think he's like, we need to add
one
more.
too many kids.
Come on. Took, you don't love Took just hiding the whole movie? The last two movies, every time they have to go somewhere, just Took, hide.
Go hide, dude.
They have a literal toddler with them in like a war zone.
Go away. Yeah, go away. You always survive somehow.
Yeah, and then the fucking water people too. They had to have all their lines. And Kate Winslet.
Right.
Like there's just so much shit going on.
Oh, Kate Winslet. Man. All right.
Here's my James Cameron issue with, like, I know he had what was the magazine with the King James? Is it?
Oh, the Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter. Like King James. That's like, look, it's great. He's gonna make a lot of money. To be another $1 billion movie, even below. This is a movie that's gonna miss its projections and still make $1.5 billion. That's unbelievable.
Second highest movie.
And movies aren't really
unbelievable.
And movies really aren't making $1 billion right now. Like that's not what it was like 5 years. Everyone was making $1 billion 10 years ago.
Yeah, for as much as I was bummed by this. Like I'm not like, if this movie made $300 million opening, I wouldn't shit on it. Like it's unbelievable. My issue with him is to be this big swinging dick, and he was talking shit about the Oscars this week, which actually he did say Denis Villeneuve should have been nominated, so I might give this a 99 out of 100 now. He talks about the Oscars, talks about this, talks about that, talks about how he makes movies that people want to see. They don't, I don't make movies for awards, make people want to see, blah, blah, blah. But here's my problem, though. This is not a guy with 3 movies in his filmography. He has a filmography of some of the greatest movies ever made that don't have these problems. The Terminator, Aliens, Terminator 2, Titan. Like, he's capable of making movies that have meat and have some more of a punch, that have some teeth to the story and the dialogue and the script. And like, even for me, like the story, like he doesn't really take any fucking chances with this story here in this one. And that's, I think, my biggest issue with the retread, where it's like, you can be this big swinging dick guy and talk about Marvel and talk about all these other franchises and blah, blah, blah. But like, in the end, like, you just made a better looking theme park ride than what the Marvel stuff did, I think, with this one. And I like, it looks better and it's unbelievable. And like you said, Klemmer, like, he obviously has the budget to do it, and he does these in-camera unbelievable mocap, like, it's amazing. But like, for me, you can talk all that shit, but like, for this movie is no different to me than any of those other ones. And that's a bummer to me, because like, I got T2 over my shoulder. This guy can make movies that have some fucking punch. I wish he would have that energy on the screen. Like, I wish his movie would have done more to punch people in the face. If he doesn't give a fuck, then don't give a fuck. Like, if you make Avatar 4, if you truly have that attitude, give some real fucking punch to it. That's my issue with the James Cameron involved with this movie.
Titanic had the same issue with the script, though. Titanic's script is terrible too.
Yeah, that's why when I started saying Titanic, I stopped saying it.
I mean, like, Terminator 2 and True Lies.
Titanic's very different though than this. It is, like, obviously, like.
Titanic's much better than this. I'm not, no argument here. I'm just saying that the script issues that were in Titanic are carrying over into this. It's kind of like, it's become like the George Lucas situation too, and we even have our own Jar Jar Binks and Spider. Like, it really is, like, it kind of just carries over.
That's like a time paradox, by the way. When you talk about Spider and Jar Jar, like, you talk about, like, that's just a paradox. Like, you don't really know if someone's talking about who's worse or what's like the worst character. But I actually don't.
Same character.
I actually don't hate Spider, for being honest.
See, I think Spider's John Connor from T2. Like, teenagers have not changed in James Cameron's mind since 1980. Like, they are exactly like. Someone said he's like if you took Jesse Pinkman season 1 and season 2 and just plopped him into the universe. Like, he's just a completely witless fucking idiot just running around just screaming like, bro, what the shit, man? Like he's just.
If Avatar 4, Spider walks up to Jake and says, "Excuse me," I will give the movie 100 out of 100. I will give it a perfect score.
Dude, every time they cut to him in the background of any scene, he's just fucking dancing like with his shirt off. So
that should be the title of the next one, The Way of Spider. That should be fully watching him grow to be an adult.
Next one's going to be centered. And by the way, 4 and 5 are happening. I don't know if Cameron's going to direct them, but they are happening. Sigourney Weaver this week accidentally slipped that she's going to be the narrator of the next one.
I would love for him to do something else. But
give it to Paul Wes Anderson. Give Avatar 4 to Paul Wes Anderson. It's called Give It a Call to Rap. Yeah.
And where you say this is like Marvel, I see where you're coming from with that, but I do think this is closer to Star Wars. Maybe not in like terms of quality with the original trilogy, but he has built a world. Like, he has built his own world with his own ideas. Like, all of him is in this movie. Like, there is stuff from Titanic in here, T2, The Abyss. Like, there are straight visual references to those movies in here. And the dialogue issues have always been an issue for him. Like, that has just been a Cameron problem. He can write some really cool pulpy lines, but like, when it comes to like nuanced lines, like, you're not going to get Justine Triet style, like,
that's fair.
Really, really well written dialogue. But the overall arching story, I think, is always interesting and big and grand and epic and biblical at points, like straight up biblical. I mean, what other blockbuster is going to have a dad like almost fucking stab his son in the neck, like, and sacrifice him? It's crazy.
Yeah, I will say it's definitely like Star Wars, but in the way that like Force Awakens has Star Killer Base instead of the Death Star. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Empire Strikes Back has the Death Star 2 instead of the Death Star. Like, it's definitely similar to that, and like, you're looking for the same thing, but the stuff around it is changing. But other than that, I would agree with like a lot of the same dialogue issues that you would see plague something like the sequel trilogy are definitely present in this for sure.
I think a bigger swing on the story excuses a lot of that for me, right? Like, if he could have, I just think the story, I lean not as much to say like it's a complete retread of the last one. It's obviously not, but there is a lot of very similar beats, and it just doesn't feel like it moved enough in a direction for me, which where I was like really taken by it. There's a lot of stuff that really works, and again, I wish that energy where he just fucking does fuck you to everybody, he would have put on the screen and done something a little more kind of ballsy, I guess.
Was the whale council?
That's someone who doesn't like me still.
The whale council is awesome with the matriarch, and she's the judge, and she slaps her fins on the water like a gag.
Yeah.
Did they just put that? Was that put in the Sora app, and he took the Ents meeting from?
You'll never hear my song again. Oh my God! When Pyakon said that, Pyakon got his own arc in this movie. That's ballsy. To give a whale like a fully fleshed out arc, it's fucking insane.
Probably a little too much. That might have been the one that could have gotten cut.
No, if anything needed to be cut, it was like
Spider.
No, because I actually like Spider. He cracks me up.
These movies are way too long. I mean, they're like way too long. Like,
yeah, I think I think they are very. Again, I enjoyed my time, but this one I really felt it with this one. I was
Chris,
like,
Chris, what did I turn and say to you? What did I turn and say to you after the movie?
You wish there were 4 more. I wish you could spend 4 more hours there.
Yes, that is absolutely.
You need to go to Disney World, but you will love Avatar Land.
Oh, I've been. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's unbelievable. It is like it is awesome. I don't even like the funny thing is like I don't even like giving I give it a 77. I still enjoyed it. It's more disappointment that is showing out my negative, because I actually do I like defending these movies. I love the last one, and I still enjoyed these, and I will absolutely be seated day one for the next one. I saw it twice. Saw it IMAX, but we'll talk about one thing. Let's get a little film there here. The HFR, the high frame rate thing I think it's terrible. But that's just him. Peter Jackson loved that shit. I think it looks awful when it switches over mid scene from high frame. Like I think it's so distracting. I don't know why they love it.
I noticed it in Dolby. Didn't notice it at all in IMAX.
IMAX not as much. The other format I noticed. I did not notice much in IMAX. Regular format, it was like I don't know why him and Peter Jackson love that so much. I know James Cameron says it's like it helps with the immersion. I hate it though. I think it looks terrible. Not as bad as The Hobbit. I mean, The Hobbit is all time like watching a soap opera.
We're not blaming Peter for that. You got on too late.
True. That's true. Poor Peter Jackson. Klemmer, this is a better question for you, Klemmer. If James Cameron walked up to you tomorrow and said, "Hey, I'm leaving Avatar. I'm going to go do another Terminator," would you say, go back to Avatar? Like because that's isn't that always kind of the thing? It's always like, oh, Arnold, bring Arnold back, or another Avatar, another Terminator script. Like he's always loomed over these Terminator movies, and like they tried to use him to help like revive him. Would you be like, no, finish your shit, or would you be like, yeah, give it a swing?
Well, the first thing I do is say I beg him for a couple hours to do something original, like please. But if he says no, it's one or those other, I would say stick with Avatar.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I think he's been teasing a return to.
He said he was going to make another one, but not use Arnold. He was very explicit about that. He's like, Arnold will not be involved.
Yeah, I think because he was just talking about like Skynet and AI, like where we're at right now. I guess he feels that his predictions from the 1980s have come true. That now he has to make new predictions.
I wish he'd just do an action movie again. Like True Lies is just entertaining as.
Yeah,
it's just an entertaining movie.
A mid-budget action movie. Yeah,
go do that, man. Like you're really good at action sequences. Just go do that, please. And have someone else write the script, please.
So that is Avatar: Fire and Ash. 3 of us in the 70s. Gooch at a 90. I mean, look. Here's the deal. Go fucking see this movie. Like,
if you liked Way of Water, you'll like this.
Yeah,
to varying degrees, but like you'll like it.
At least to be entertained. Least to be entered. Like it is an unbelievable visual experience, and it's worth it. But this movie could have been a 40 out of 100 for me, and I still would have enjoyed just seeing it. It is unbelievable. So definitely go check it out. All right, in the new year, nothing is quite like having good old-fashioned home cooking. HelloFresh brings back the joy of the kitchen with recipes that feel good and taste delicious night after night. I love HelloFresh because it is a wide-ranging variety of things that you can cook. And there really is, especially this time of year, there's nothing like a hearty meal, but also you're so busy. It's great to have the ability to have something that is easier to make, but also hits home with a great home-cooked meal. Brings people together with meals. They're simple and rewarding on a very busy weeknight or weekend. or any day during the holiday season. Over 100 mouthwatering recipes each week, from seasonal favorites to global dishes, bigger portions, so no one really leaves the table hungry or wanting more. It leaves everyone satisfied. And also, you can choose from 35 plus high protein weekly recipes, including the new Mediterranean and GLP-1 friendly options. Everything has protein in it. HelloFresh making sure that you have good protein options. Made with wholesome ingredients like sustainably sourced seafood, 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken, all that and more. Go to HelloFresh, H-E-L-L-O, can't spell, can cook though, and can eat, HELLO fresh.com /bracket10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your third box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals apply as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. Go to HelloFresh.com /bracket10FM to get 10 free meals and the $145.99 value knife. How about that? The Housemaid. Oh boy. From Paul Feig. The Housemaid follows a young woman who takes a live-in housekeeping job for a wealthy family, grateful for a fresh start and steady work. As she settles into the lavish home, subtle tensions and unsettling dynamics begin to surface. Beneath the polished exterior, what seems like a simple opportunity slowly reveals itself to be far more psychologically charged than expected. 2 hours and 11 minutes long, which is a shocking runtime. If you read the runtime before you go see it and you think it's an hour and a half like I did, that was just a stunner for me. When I looked down at my watch, I'm like, how are they going to wrap this shit up in the next 5 minutes? And then there was a whole 40 minutes left in that movie. Paul Feig did another movie this year called Another Simple Favor, which is a Simple Favor 2. Widely considered one of the worst of the year.
That's fucking bad. It's unbelievable.
He also did a movie called Last Christmas, which the title in itself can kind of tell you how that one goes. And he also did Simple Favor, which is great. Simple Favor is awesome. He also
created Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, I usually just talk about their most recent things, though.
Oh, okay.
Most, yeah.
That's one of the greatest.
If we're bringing in other things, we got to bring Ghostbusters. The most unfortunate reaction online to a movie of all time will be Ghostbusters, because of the people who hated on it for the female cast and didn't instead hate on it because it's a fucking steaming pile of dog shit. It's one of the all-time
like a Incredibles kid. Like, I'm not associated with you.
Yeah, it's like no, you can have your reasons. My reason is that it's worse than you think for other reasons. It's so bad. It's so bad. Based on a 2022 novel, very, very popular book from Frida McFadden, which actually ends very differently than this movie. I will mention that in spoilers if people would like to know. Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, Brandon Sklenar, and Elizabeth Perkins. Brandon Sklenar, a.k.a. American Chris Hemsworth.
Not many people have needed a stage name more in their life than that guy. Brandon Sklenar.
It just reminds me of the Sklar brothers.
Yeah, from the show Cheap Seats on ESPN.
Yeah.
$19 million opening. I believe I was reading somewhere said that they expect it's going to have decent legs over the holidays, which makes sense based on a very popular novel. My theater was packed.
Yeah.
75-92 split on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.9% IMDb, 67 Metacritic, 3.2 Letterboxd. Klemmer, The Housemaid.
Kind of like this. It was fun. It was trashy. It was goofy as all fuck. It desperately wants to be Gone Girl. It's not that.
Yes, it does.
It's not.
It should almost pay royalties to David Fincher.
It wants to be Gone Girl very, very badly. But if it's like AAA version Gone Girl, maybe AA, that's okay. I thought especially Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Sklenar were really good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that. I think Sydney Sweeney at times was a little out of her depth, especially when she has to be like the narrator, which is bizarre. She just doesn't have to quite the voice or I don't know, or like interest to be there. She sounded like she was literally reading the book. But I don't know. I had fun with this. I think Paul Feig did a pretty good job directing it too. I'm going to stick up for him. A lot of this is shot basically inside one house, and you never feel too claustrophobic or too like boxed in. I didn't feel bored. I don't know. This did it for me. I went in expecting to be stupid, fun, trashy, pulpy, goofy shit, and that's exactly what I got. If you go in here expecting Casablanca, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in here expecting it to be just kind of a, just goofy fun, it delivers. 74.
Yeah, I gave it a 62. I don't think it's very good, but I also think like I'm gonna give Paul Feig a little credit here. I think there's some intent here. I think Paul Feig knew he was making a little bit of hot trash. Where I think with another simple favor, he did not. I think I don't know. Like it is crazy that somebody could release both those movies this year. Where I think I think this movie is super self-aware. I think it knows what it is. I think the issue with this movie it's a little too long because I think there's a good chunk of this movie that just fucking it moves. It's like scene to scene to scene, and I think that's how it should be. I think it should be really snappy, and it's like one freak out after another. And this, and I loved that, and then it kind of hits a snag. Where you're like, we slowed down a bit, and you got to think about it a little more. The big problem in this movie is I don't think Sydney Sweeney knew what she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I think Slanar is great. I think Elizabeth Perkins in her like 2 scenes was great.
Awesome.
I think she added a really nice like kind of like creepy aura to it. And then Amanda Seyfried is awesome in this movie. She was great. And I just think Sydney Sweeney, I don't know. I think by the end it's almost like by the end she started to figure it out a little bit more. But the most of the movie, I can't imagine that's what Paul Feig wanted. I just can't. I can't imagine he had this slow like move into camp throughout the whole movie and just this over the top from everybody. And maybe she was supposed to play it straight, but it wasn't she played it straight. She played it like dead, like like she's like lifeless,
emotionless.
Yeah, it was weird. So that's a very probably harsh, maybe harsh 62 for how much I enjoyed it. It's corny, it's cheesy as hell, but I think there's an intent here. Like I don't think this movie could be anything better than like a 70, but I think that's fine. Like they're not going for anything crazy. It was very entertaining. My biggest issue is A, long, B, Sydney Sweeney. The Sydney Sweeney didn't work. Though the guy in front of me, oh boy, was he was loving it. My seat was perfectly positioned where I could see him turn to his wife every time she dumped him out. He would just go he went like this. And I don't know if he was looking for her approval or he was cartoon wolfing it, but I was like, oh my, he was loving it. 62. Kenjac.
Yeah, I think this is like the most perfectly fine movie that you can make and nothing more. Like based on at least my expectation for it, like based on the components we have, it's like you have a well-liked mystery novel combined with Paul Feig. So I basically expected this to be a less funny version of A Simple Favor. And I think that's basically what it is. It's like a mildly entertaining sort of mystery and really just nothing. There's just like nothing special about this movie at all. And at first, I agree with kind of what you guys were saying about Sweeney, where like at first I'm like, wow, Seyfried's acting circles around her. Like this is really, really bad. But the more I thought about it, like Seyfried got a lot more to work with from a character perspective, as did Slanar, than Sweeney did. So I think that like when you're playing the sort of straight person in a new place, like audience immersion character, I do think it's way different than when you're playing a fucking psychopath, like person on mental edge. So I give her a little bit of grace there, especially for that first half. Like you guys are saying, second half picks up a lot for her performance-wise as like things get rolling. So I'd give her a little bit of a pass in that thing. In that sense, I think the twists and turns are nice. It's just to me the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like expecting something that hits on the same level as the first Simple Favor, which I like quite a bit, and it never hits that. I think it's the ultimate just fine movie, and I would agree with you guys. Definitely a little bit too long. You could have I think you'd have jumped in a little bit faster. And the flashback part where like you redo the perspective for Seyfried, it felt more like a speed bump than something additional to it. And I get you want to like try and make the whole audience be like, oh, now it all makes sense, but like it just felt less like of a reveal and more of like a homework, and that I didn't totally love either. So I would say overall, enjoy the mystery. I wish it was because like with Paul Feig, I expect snappier. quicker, more.
Which is for a while,
towards
right? At the beginning, it really is like it's quick.
Yeah. And you get that in different points. It's not consistent enough. And so I would say not overly thrilled, but again, perfectly fine. I think if you're someone who probably loved that book, I can't imagine someone being like overly upset watching an adaptation like this. Although I don't know if it's crazy different in the movie or in the book version of it. So I would say fine. I imagine this has a decent legs.
It seems as though people are okay with the changes. Well, I'll say the changes in a second. People are okay with the changes because it works for the movie probably better. Gooch, what do you think? Are you in line with that?
Kenjac, what did you give it, by the way?
I'm at like a 65.
All right. I'm a bit lower than you are. I'm at a 50. And I think like 48 of those come from Amanda Seyfried's performance. She really is the best part of almost every movie she's ever in. She's just a really fantastic actress who, at some point, we got to get her an Academy Award. It's not going to be for this one, I don't think. But down the line, she's got to get it. Like Jeff was saying, Sydney Sweeney, does she want to be in this movie? Does she like acting? I mean, she has. I mean, this has been kind of her MO throughout her career. She's got that like disaffected, kind of monotone voice, which I think works in spots on Euphoria. Really works. Here, does not work at all. It does not make sense for her character. She doesn't make sense for the character at all. I don't once believe that she ever killed someone and spent 10 years in prison and is a homeless woman. It's supposed to be fun and campy and crazy and like unbelievable and heightened, but she's not playing it in a way that makes me want to buy in and have fun with that, if that makes sense. So I'm left with Amanda Seyfried, who I think is doing like a really fun performance of like this, locked up middle America high class woman. But outside of that, Brendan Sklenar, I still don't get him. I don't really get the whole. I get that he's very attractive. I get that. He's a black hole of charisma every single time he's on screen. I have not.
Oh, really? Really? You didn't like him?
That's wrong. That's not
I didn't
true.
like him. He's been like just like this like weird. It's like someone said spit out like went into Chat GPT and was like split out a Hollywood actor who could also double as a Bachelor contestant, and that's what.
Did you see Drop?
Yeah, I didn't like him in Drop either.
Oh,
I gave Drop the same fucking score I just saw, by the way, which is like perfect. It's just like he lives in that universe of 62 for me.
No, you guys are too harsh on Sklenar.
I like him in this.
All right.
But he does. Klemmer, you got him. The thing I said earlier, it does feel like somebody said make an American Chris Hemsworth, and they were like, here.
I disagree. I think Hemsworth is like a lousy actor.
Oh no, I disagree with that. Hemsworth, I think, is given a lot more than Sklenar so
see
far.
Furiosa?
I didn't love him in Drop at all.
I've not seen Furiosa.
They should.
He's so fucking good in Furiosa, dude.
Wait, you didn't see Furiosa?
Didn't see Furiosa. Fury Road was fine.
I
understand when people love it. We can get in that whole debate.
I'm going to give you my 4K to borrow so you can fucking watch that movie. Good Lord.
All right.
But yeah, no, I'm landing at a 50. Also, big points off for these needle drops. I like, I'm not up to date on pop music, but like, good Lord, there has to be better like modern songs out to pick. And they're like weirdly placed, like very strangely placed. The song that plays when Sydney Sweeney and Brendan Sklenar first hook up is like one of the least sexy songs ever. They're like in this like nice hotel, and they have like the 9th best song off Sabrina Carpenter's like soundtrack from like 2 albums ago playing. I did not like those needle drops at all. So yeah, 50 out of 100 for me.
The best movie that Brendan Sklenar was in this year was Green and Gold, the Packers movie produced by Culver's.
The Culver's.
He was in that?
Yeah.
He was good in 1923 or whichever spinoff that was.
Yeah, I've heard that's the best he's been. I think that's like where he
but actually, again, I got to backtrack. I do like him in this. I think I like him in this, but I can also understand not being moved by him. It's not like he's a real cinephile.
He's a real cinephile in this. How'd you feel about those Barry Lyndon references?
Yeah, a lot of Barry Lyndon in this.
We got Barry Lyndon in the movie.
I do think he was wrong. Like, he's just not sinister. He's the least sinister face I think I've ever seen, and that I think is very tough. And also, you can say the same thing about
that's the point of the character, though.
No, I know, but you need to have like an edge. I think, like with as far as like sensuality goes, like almost with our girl Parang or whatever. Like, you need a little bit of an edge to the face where you're like, oh, that's dangerous, sexy. And he's just not. He's like teddy bear sexy. You know what I mean? He's just not very. He doesn't hit that for me. You can say the same thing about Henry Golding though, with The Simple Favor, but I think it worked there.
So yeah,
I think that's
full spoiler here, so we don't just in case. The big moment in this movie is the Sydney Sweeney character and the Brendan Sklenar character and the hooking up in New York after seeing a Broadway show, and they come back, and Amanda Seyfried's character finds out and knows that it happened. Blah blah blah, all this stuff. Sydney Sweeney used a nanny phone and she tracked her, all this shit. And so she leaves, and now Sklenar and Sydney Sweeney are now together, and they have this whole montage, and they're happier, and they're loving life and all this shit. And then it flashes back to when Amanda Seyfried's character left the house, and you have this whole literally Gone Girl moment. Like it is like it to a T, like in a car. It feels like Gone Girl, though it just obviously goes in a different direction. You find out that Amanda Seyfried's character is not a crazy person, and that she basically got put into this abusive relationship and didn't know how to get out of it and was cornered by him, and a little silly and convoluted, but I actually appreciated the fact that he knew it was ridiculous and it kind of played into a way where I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like that makes enough sense for me, where like he faked her drowning her kid and she didn't really do it, but everyone believes it. And her only way to really see this. So it's all this stuff. And she finally set up this housemaid to come over because Brandon Sklar likes a good like fix it opportunity with a girl. You know, I can save her. And then Amanda Seyfried knew that if she just did enough things, he would fall for her, and then she could finally leave and get out of the relationship like alive. And so that's how that kind of evolves. And then Sydney Sweeney's character eventually finds out that, oh, he's a psychopath. He's the lunatic in this whole thing. She gets locked in this room in the upstairs of the house, which is where she kind of sleeps. And that room has a lot of significance, more significance in the book, actually, which I'll get to in a second. And tells Sydney Sweeney's character that she has to cut lines in her stomach in order to get out of the room, because she broke this really fancy china that he had from his mommy dearest mother, basically. And then she ends up locking him in the room. She stabs him, all this shit, and then Amanda Seyfried ends up coming to save Sydney Sweeney's character, and they kill the Brendan Sklenar character, and they get away with it because it turns out the cop that comes and investigates, her sister was at one point engaged to Brendan Sklenar's character. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Like, all right, that's a really quick kind of. If you're someone who wants to hear us talk about this and don't want to see the movie, though it is entertaining enough to see. The difference in the book, apparently, which actually I will say, I kind of wish they would have layered in a little more, though it does work better, the ending. When he was a kid, apparently his mother locked him in that room and would make him pull his teeth out in order to come out of the room. So the room had a lot of significance to him as a kid. So he's just doing what his mother did, because his mother's a freak. He's just doing what his mother did. And then the end of the movie, when he gets Sydney Sweeney eventually cuts all the lines in her stomach, and he comes in and he says, hey, we'll be okay as long as you listen and follow the rules. She stabs him in the neck. In the movie, he eventually gets out because Amanda Seyfried accidentally lets him out. In the book, he dies in there. He never comes out. She never lets him out. He starves to death, and he like pulls all his teeth out and all this shit. So that's like, I think this works better. This is a significantly more cinematic, like exciting ending. But that is a difference for those who are wondering the change. I actually think it's a good change. I think that would have been a little underwhelming for him to just starve to death in this room. I don't know how his performance would have been in that case.
How do we feel about that house? Because it did not feel like a wealthy family's house. It felt like
old money. Not money. Not at all.
Not at all. I actually really hated the way the house looked. It bothered me the whole
Really?
movie.
Actually, I kind of like the house a little bit.
Too.
I like the staircase, and that was about it.
You know what, though, okay. Would you have felt differently had you known how, like, had it been baked in a little more that was his that's his family's house? Like, it's there's like a lifeblood to it.
I somewhat figured a lot of the stuff that you just went over. Like, it's kind of implied the way his mother, acts around him.
Remember, they say that he designed the house, even though he works in tech.
Oh yeah,
she did say that. That's right. She did say that. Now I'm now retroactively explaining it because I heard what the book did.
But was that a lie?
I don't think so. It looks like a new build. It doesn't look like an old house.
That's what bothered me, is it looks like a new build, and I was like, old money.
We also have to talk about one of the most bizarre characters this year, and that is Enzo the handyman. Who is literally asked at one point in this movie, why are you here? Like, why are you in this movie? The movie doesn't know what to do with this character. It is so bizarre.
That was Paul Feig liking him from another Simple Favor, by the way. He was in that movie and he liked him.
That's an actor.
He has a more. My guess is his stuff got cut down because he apparently has a significantly bigger role in the movie, in the book as well. I would assume they cut him down a little because I think this was probably way too long to begin with.
Because I just think Gardner that hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a smaller role.
He's the hottest man in the lot. No person that hot has ever done manual labor.
Doing manual labor, his hair is perfectly like fucking pomaded every single morning.
He's doing manual labor, and Sydney Sweeney is homeless, living out of her car. Like, which is more believable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was. I mean, it's a fun trash movie, and I do give Paul Feig a lot of credit because again, I do think he's made some stinkers. He's made some fucking stinkers, but I think some of his stinkers, like there isn't that self-awareness where you're like, oh Jesus Christ, like this thing thinks it is a riot. This thing thinks it's a genius movie. Where this, like, I think there is not like as close to almost like a look at the camera and wink as you could get with this movie. Like I do appreciate that. Like there should be room for entertaining trash, and I hope it makes good money, and I hope fans of the book go and see it. That'd be great.
Everybody else's theater packed. Mine was packed to the brim.
Yep. I was at Alamos's smaller room, but it was packed. I recommend this movie, by the way. I recommend both these movies this week.
No, this is a great date movie. Great. This is a good, like, it's good trash. This is good.
There was a couple sitting next to me, and I don't know if the guy was like thinking that this was going to be a horror movie, but he kept like his like hand over his eyes like the whole movie. he was terrified. You could tell he doesn't go to the movies a lot, or doesn't watch movies at all because a
couple of the moments where she just appears, Amanda Seyfried's character just appears, like the beat in that movie, and like even like the sound effects, the score, like all, like that was for me where I was like, oh, he knows what he's doing here. I was like, I appreciate, like it wasn't played to be a serious, like, oh shit, she appeared. Like it was played to be funny, like as a joke. Yeah. And I was like, you know what, that's all right. Like I can vibe with that. So that's The Housemaid. Much better than Another Simple Favor. Much better. Though again, if you're ranking Sklenar movies, definitely check out the movie produced by the restaurant Culver's. It's slightly better.
It was in like 978 theaters, so I didn't have to see it. The Craig T. Nelson movie, I just
really did. Culver's just couldn't push it past the finish line. Nope. All right, we're almost to the end of our 12 days of game time. That is right. Game time, they're giving away crazy prizes every day with a $5,000 grand prize at the end. If you still have not entered, go to 12daysofgametime.com. It is free and only takes seconds. This season, Game Time is celebrating the moments that made people fans, and they have been enabling those moments for 12 years now. I've used Game Time for so many things. And another one of my favorite moments, used Game Time a couple years ago, take my mom to go to the Final Four at UConn, knocked off Alabama, and they beat Purdue in the national championship. I made that trip out there. I bought those tickets when I landed. I was on the tarmac in Phoenix, bought those tickets last minute. Great. Was right behind the benches, was on TV the whole game. It was fucking awesome. Incredible experience that I'd only get with Game Time, because everything with Game Time is so easy, so last second, and you get these fantastic deals with the fees up front. Simple, easy. Going to do the same thing for the college football playoff coming up. Texas A&M, Miami, going to my buddies who are A&M fans. No better way to get a ticket for anything, whether it be a concert, a game, etc., than Game Time. These are the types of moments that Game Time is celebrating. Go to 12daysofgametime.com, the number 12, daysofgametime.com today for a chance to experience one of these moments. All right, a little next segment, a little news time, a little cinema, a little trailers, some movie news, some light movie news, but big trailer stuff. We'll rip through a couple of you, give some thoughts. Opening June 12th, I thought this was the best trailer of the week, that was released. From Steven Spielberg, starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell, Elizabeth Marvel. Disclosure Day, a brand new alien UFO movie from Steven Spielberg coming out in the year 2026. Unbelievable. I could not be more excited for this. A classic Spielberg look. The only thing we really know is humans make first contact with some sort of extraterrestrial life. Some sort of involvement from Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor's characters, maybe, but such a mysterious trailer. It doesn't really tell you anything. Just tells you it's going to be alien. It's going to be a mystery. It's going to be anything that you love from Spielberg. You're going to get right here. This was a home run of a trailer. I don't know if you guys agree.
This is what trailers need to be. Get us excited about the movie. Don't tell us anything. That's all you need to do. I hate these trailers that give us the whole movie. This doesn't tell us anything, but yet I was just as excited, if not more so, than almost any trailer I've seen this year. I'm all in for this movie. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. Just 2 minutes. Don't give you anything at all. Like no plot beats, no nothing. Really just like a quick look at stuff, which, by the way, you instantly get that, like, obviously storied alien director in Spielberg. Like you get a little bit of that War of the Worlds, like the stuff you like about War of the Worlds and some of that footage, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's moving. It was moving watching that trailer.
You get a little bit of everything. I thought like you get War of the Worlds. I saw some Minority Report, some
Sure.
ET,
Close
obviously Close
Encounters.
Encounters is going to be, I think, probably the biggest influence on
Yeah.
this. But yeah, no, you see kind of everything in his toolbox here, without really knowing anything about the movie. This is my third most anticipated movie next year, behind The
Avatar
Odyssey
4.
and Dune 3.
I would
Avatar
agree.
4.
Yep.
I'm looking at 2032 probably for that one. But this is the third most anticipated.
The sound
Spielberg's,
effect.
like, his late work is just like, when you really think about it, he's just turned it up. He's gotten like back into his prime. I think like he's really just turning out some
after he dropped that stinker, The Post. He's like, I can't end with this shit. The alien sound effect, I believe that's what that sound effect is in this trailer, is awesome. It's like really unsettling, weird. It bothered me. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's a master. I'm very, very excited for it. Cannot wait. Elizabeth Marvel, by the way, shout out House of Cards.
Yeah, shout out to House of Cards alum right there. What was her name in
Heather Dunbar.
Heather Dunbar. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Heather Dunbar.
Tries to force her to be a Supreme Court justice. I think he succeeds.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch that at some point next year. The Odyssey next up. This was not released, which I'm actually a little surprised this hasn't been released yet. So there is two things that you can see with The Odyssey, and they're very different. One is a trailer, a regular trailer, no like crazy bells and whistles, but looks unbelievable. And then there's the prologue. I would suggest getting to IMAX some way, shape, or form to see the prologue for The Odyssey. It is unbelievable. The scale, the scope. It's like, man, if this, whatever, who knows? Maybe the movie won't be good. I don't know, but I find that to be impossible, and I need to temper my expectations to not have them through the roof, but it looks amazing. It looks fucking awesome, man. If we get a Matt Damon Oscar run too, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
The intensity. It was Gooch, and I was at the edge of my seat. And you kind of know what's going to happen to the Trojan horse stuff. So you but like, it's still like, I don't know. The way it builds and the way it makes you feel like that your stomach tightens. It's so good. This prologue is can't miss. Incredible. I was a little worried about the language stuff with the Odyssey. I'm like, Odyssey, it's a slog to read in high school. Gross. This has me all in. Like, no one's a master.
I'll let Kenjac kind of talk about this too.
We gotta talk about the dorks. Don't forget.
Yeah, this is the thing I'll let Kenjac talk about, because there's a growing. It's ironically being overshadowed by the very bizarre, and we'll get to this in a second, like doing too much Avengers End Doomsday versus Odyssey thing, because the quiet thing about the Odyssey that's not being talked about enough is history dorks right now. They are hating on this movie. Because the poster was released, badass poster, by the way. In the back of Matt Damon's characters, it's got like this spine.
Yeah.
And it's very like a modern day twist, and that's what's gonna. There's a modern infusement into this movie, it would seem. But Kenjac, the history dorks, are not happy.
They're all over it. It's like, this helmet doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. Like, it's the thing with like history dorks on this sort of stuff. I will never care if it's not totally period accurate or whatever. As long as it like looks good and looks real. Like, you think about something like even like Lord of the Rings, which isn't obviously tied to anything real, but like they make real chainmail out of like a lower grade aluminum or something, and it just looks like physically like you touch it. And that, I think, is, as long as you hit there, it's great. And at the same time, the Odyssey is not historical.
No,
it's a fucking fantasy. It is like, it's an absolute. We're talking about like a literal, like, it could be Lord of the Rings. Like, that's what Lord of the Rings was to the fucking Greeks. Like, it's completely fake. Everything about it is fake. It's a daydream. It's a fiction. It's like what do you call it? The Jonathan Frakes and what do you call it? What's that? What's that show?
Holodeck.
No. What's the thing?
Fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction. He's like, it's fake. It's a fiction. It's unreal. It's not real. So like, you can't look at this as if it's like you're watching. Even they could say the same thing with Troy, but like Troy was at least a real battle. Like, these are not real things. They're all fantasies. So they can let them look what they want as long as they look cool, and it's Christopher Nolan. They will look cool, and that's all that matters.
I don't think the poster is Odysseus, but whoever it is, like whatever the fucking spine and the helmet made people. You would think that Christopher Nolan killed their family. Like, they're like, what the fuck?
The other one, they're like, there was like an image of Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway like on a roof, and they're like, oh, the wall wouldn't be corroded in ancient times.
Oh,
It's
ugh.
like, fuck you. Like, do you realize how long those walls had probably been up? But like, people have no concept of time back then. Like, the Odyssey was written, and it really wasn't written down until like 1,000 years later, but it was created like over the period of like 200, 300 years. Like this is not a real thing. This is, as long as they nail the sentiment of the story, which I think Nolan is going to do, then what are we complaining about? Like, what are we complaining
Yeah, but like real
about?
people don't care about that. Like I think real people are going to be all in on
Yeah.
this and be excited.
I
to see
do
this.
think
like,
it's
like, you're,
just
like
kind of
this.
fake.
This seems like internet, like just nonsense about like 40 people who are mad. Like
Yeah.
I think real people are going to see that and be all in on this because that was exciting for everyone.
Yeah.
Our theater was stoked, Gooch.
The people who are complaining like actually don't go to movies either. Like, you know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
people who are complaining about historical accuracy are not people who even go to movies.
No, they wouldn't go they wouldn't go if it was a Mycenaean accurate period armor where they look like a fucking tortoise shell. Like they wouldn't go no matter what.
Yeah.
Trailer should be released this week. Good trailer.
I kind of like this, and I like it with. We're about to talk about Doomsday, I'm assuming, but I like these big blockbusters going exclusive in theaters. Maybe
the fact that we had to do it this week is pretty. I think that should be the case. I also think that teasers should be. I think trailers need to be. There was a trailer that I saw this week where I was like,
was it Digger?
That's the whole fucking movie. Yeah, like the trailer for the new Tom Cruise movie. What was it? It was something before. I don't know what it was. Oh, it was it's the movie it's the movie with God, who's in it? It's fucking who's in it? What's the name of the
Is
fucking
it Anaconda?
movie?
Those
It's with Halle Bailey. It's like hey,
the
we're
Italian one?
We're going to Italy. It's like you, me, and Tuscany or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The whole movie. It's the entire movie.
She went for the pasta but got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like, what are we doing here? Can we just like, do we have to show the whole movie in a trailer? Even the new trailer for the Bone Temple, the 20 years later, like
yeah.
that. Even that's like it's a really long trailer. I'm like, why are we showing all this?
I agree.
So that's the Odyssey. Trailer should be out soon, but man, oh man, if you can see the fucking prologue, which the prologue will not be released. So that is definitely you need to go see that if you want to see it. Like that's
Also,
the
Goranson score. It sounds like he is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, did they do a prologue for Oppenheimer? Am I forgetting? Did they not do one?
I don't remember that.
The last one I remember that was this powerful was like Dark Knight Rises when you had Bane on the plane.
Well,
Yeah, I was
Dunkirk was right before
Right,
Rogue
but
One.
This punched different though for me. This was
Yeah, this was
this was incredible.
I don't think he did one for Oppenheimer. Maybe he did. Maybe I just don't remember it. Next up, do you want to talk about fucking divisive? Holy shit. Avengers Doomsday. They're doing a different type of release. They're doing literal teasers. You want to talk about a teaser. This is a teaser. This is like back in the day when they would just do things that aren't even in the movie. Like I saw a teaser for Home Alone the other day, Home Alone 2, and it's just like it's New York, and it just pans around New York, and then it cuts the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty does like the Kevin face. Yep. That's great. Give me those teasers. Like give me shit that's not even in the movie. Just give me the announcement. First teaser announces Steve Rogers is back. This movie apparently, by the way, this is not a spoiler. I don't think. Cover your ears if you are worried. I'm not spoiling anything. It's not a leak or anything. Apparently, this movie just fucking leaves off right after Endgame, by the way. They're just like, fuck these other movies. We'll see if that's true or not. Part of the reaction for this is that this story was reported 4 years ago that he was coming back for this movie.
Justin
So people aren't very surprised by it. It's a really quick teaser. It has not been released online yet. It apparently won't be released online. And it just announces that Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday. Apparently, the next one is Thor, or so they say. And then after that, another week of teasers. And it'll be Doctor Doom. And then apparently the fourth teaser will be the full trailer for the movie. There is intent here. You see people like, oh, Disney, they let him leak. They're very aware these were going to leak. I'm just telling you, I don't have inside info anymore at Disney, but as someone who did used to work there, the marketing department at Disney is very smart, at least in terms of strategy. Whether you like the teaser or not, it's a whole different thing. There was intent with the leaks here. They're trying to build artificial hype before they release an actual trailer. Instead of just saying, hey, Monday Night Football trailer, they're going to have this just kind of talked about online for 4 weeks and be like, hey, here's the full fucking thing. People don't like the teaser. They think it's stupid. And now, though, I think the plot has been lost a little bit. We're now like trying to hate on it too much, where it's like, okay, relax. You will be seated for Avengers Doomsday in December.
It's a horrible teaser, Jeff.
In December of 22. The teaser's whatever. It's just nothing. It's a nothing teaser.
It reeks of desperation. It's sad.
I'm not denying that, but like there are people online saying like, you want a teaser? Look at the prologue for the Odyssey. Like, what are we doing? Like, this isn't their trailer. Like, it is artificial. It's artificial hype building.
But
this
that's
isn't
the
the
thing,
main trailer for the movie.
But they have to resort to these measures to promote this movie that should be automatic, the easiest layup in history. And it just shows you where Marvel is right now. They are desperate. They are scrambling, and this was a pathetic. People were laughing in our theater, out of like derision. Like, this was atrocious. What are they doing?
Yeah, I like, see, that's, to me, that's like, okay, like what? Like, really? It's like, I don't think it's atrocious. It's a character announcement teaser.
A character announcement teaser for a character they tried to get rid of, or they were done with, and now they need to bring back because everything's in shambles over there. Like, this was horrible. Like, the fact that they haven't been able to introduce new characters that people give a shit about, and they have to bring back these old ones, and the very first announcement for this Avengers movie is showing that it was sad.
I don't think it's a good teaser, but my point is, like, when we start comparing the prologue of the Odyssey to the like build up teasers to the actual trailer, like I do think we are losing the plot and trying a little too hard, though. Maybe not what you said, I think is fine, but that I think we've kind of lost our senses a little bit.
That's their fault for putting out these like pre-trailer trailers.
I do think this is a major misstep. Not a major misstep, but this
I don't think it matters.
I think people can feel the desperation. I really do. Both my showings that I've seen it at, the reaction was, like Klemmer said, people laughing. Nobody excited for it. I think if you wait 6 months until they're gonna have to keep this going for a year. I don't know if that's possible with where they're at. They're just at a spot right now that's just not good. Every franchise has gone through it this century where the public sentiment just turns on it. It happened to DC. I mean, after the Dark Knight trilogy, you would have thought DC would have been fine for a decade. It took 2 years for people to be like, this Zack Snyder shit fucking sucks, and dunking it to the core of the earth. The MCU's in a bad spot and sliding hard right now. I think they should have waited.
I think in 3 weeks when they release that regular trailer, I don't think anyone's going to give a shit, and it's not going to matter. I think it's just going to be like a footnote and be like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just don't. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't think people are going to give a shit. I think they're going to see Robert Downey Jr. and they're going to be like, oh, and then like.
But don't you think they should have waited till after the Spider-Man movie? I would assume the Spider-Man movie is going to be at least good. Build some momentum, and then drop that trailer, drop the teaser. That's still 6 months out.
No, I think it's a harder year to have an easy footprint in movies next year, though. I think no matter what, they also need to. I mean, I think a lot of people know that. I think Christopher Nolan even knew that. I think they released tickets in fucking July. It was a year and a half, almost a full year early. I think that's just a studio thing in general. I think that next year's a crowded year. So I think it's like you need to start really making your wave. So in that sense, no, I do think they had to do something. You know, again, I don't think the teasers are great at all, but like I just don't think. Let's revisit this in 3 weeks. I think when they release a trailer, that's all people are going to care about. No one's going to be like, well, they did release that one Steve Rogers. Like, I don't think it's.
But they could have just reused the trailer, though. That's what I don't understand. Like this.
But my point is, I get it because you can. They have two things they can do here. They have this runway with Avatar, and they can take something which they know clearly. They know what you said they're aware of. You know, they're not oblivious to it. They know that they have to build artificial hype. They can take this 3 week runway to be like, Avengers, 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 Avengers. Hey, Avengers trailer tomorrow. Or they can just be like, on one day, hey, it's coming out tomorrow. You take the first one. You at least try to build as much hype as you can. I get it. I'm not saying it's great. I'm just like, I get it. Like, I don't think it's like I don't think they just spun a fucking wheel and came up with like a strategy, is my point.
I see a room full of people with flop sweat right now, like scrambling. And I mean, even going back to Robert Downey Jr., like we're bringing him back. I know some people are excited about it. There's a lot of people like going, like rolling their eyes, being like, "What are you like? This isn't the Marvel that. This is a Marvel that I feel like the last days of Rome. Like everything's
very well could be, but I don't know. I think in 3 weeks it'll be a different tune. That's just me. I don't know.
Might be right,
especially for like the normie average fan too.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna lose those. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to lose those.
But you've lost the casual fan, and that's
I think that I'm talking about I think the casual and the normies who like don't care about, like, they're not getting into the weeds of like, oh, what happened in phase, like they see, oh, you know, it's like, hey, that's hey, that's fucking Iron Man, right? Like, that's like, I think that's where they're going to get people, and whether you think that's cheap or not, like, it is. I'm looking at just like the marketing strategy of it. Like, I kind of get it. Another teaser. This is a teaser. Kind of surprised they teased as far out as they did. But again, next year's a tough year for movies. Avengers Doomsday comes out the same day as Dune Part 3, by the way. As of now, I don't think that's going to hold.
Crazy.
I would love to see them try to do it.
I don't think. I don't. I hope they don't. I think Dune's going to fucking. I don't want to see Dune have to go up against an Avengers movie.
I think they could benefit each other. I think that's easily.
Maybe.
I think you can sell that doubleheader more than more than Glicked or like whatever else they've tried to make happen since Barbenheimer.
Though Avengers Doomsday putting a clock on their teaser does basically say, hey, we're not moving this fucking date. Digger from Alejandro G. Inarritu, the 2-time Best Director winner. Tom Cruise in this movie. This feels like a very important moment for Tom Cruise in terms of like what we see Tom Cruise do the rest of his career. Also Sandra Huller, which is very funny because apparently that Gosling movie is great. So is she going to be in 2 more great movies? And like, is she going to be in another double header of just Best Picture nominees? John Goodman, Michael Stolberg, Jesse Plemons, Sophie Wilde, Riz Ahmed, Emma Darcy, big cast, most powerful man in the world, causes a disaster and embarks on a mission to prove that he is the savior of humanity. What would you do for a Best Actor run for Cruise here, Kenjac? I mean,
it's good. It is a great combination of director and talent. I do feel like Inarritu's gotten some really good performances out of people, and I guess because he did Revenant too, he has gotten the deserved Oscar for a actor before, right? Technically speaking.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah,
Leo?
he pushed Leo across the finish line.
If you get Leo his like well overdue Oscar, why can't he do the same thing for Cruise? I'd be down for that.
I mean, Tom is getting his Oscar here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Yeah, but no, in a competitive category, for sure. Yeah, no, like Jeff said, huge turning point for Cruise's career. I'm very excited for his next decade. And I've said that multiple times now. Him pivoting into, or at least going back to auteur filmmakers, that's exciting to me. I don't love Inarritu. Haven't loved anything he's made since Birdman. Like, Revenant, cool, but didn't do a lot for me. Like, I've never wanted to go
Revenant
back.
didn't move the needle too much for me, and Bardo was not good.
Yeah, but this, I mean, cool teaser. I mean, really cool teaser. You got Tom Cruise wearing prosthetics, baggy shorts. He's supposed to be like the most powerful man in the world. I'm going to guess this maybe goes after oil. Looked like he was on an oil rig. He's got the shovel. Got a cool gorilla song playing in the background. I don't know. This is that cast. It's not just big names. It's like really cool actors who like do really cool work. I don't know. This could be a stinker. Don't get me wrong. This could be really bad.
Yeah,
but I'm excited that he's doing it.
We're at the middle of the fence moment for Inarritu with me because Revenant's good. It's a good movie, well made. It's a work of art, whatever. But I'm a huge Birdman fan, largely because of Michael Keaton. I think Michael Keaton's just fucking incredible in that movie. But it's like, okay, so which way are we going to go now? Is he going to kind of be in that positive end of the direction? It's crazy. He won 2 Oscars in the span of 3 years?
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. I'm all in. This is like one of my like top. This is coming out next year, right?
Yes. In October with IMAX
Yeah,
screens.
this is one of my like 5 most like anticipated of the year. Like I'm really excited for this. I'm edge of my seat excited for this one.
Also, a poster without Cruise's face on the front of it. That's also insane. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. Also, do you guys think it'll actually be funny? Like it's being described as a comedy.
That worries me. That's the only part where I'm like, I don't know if that's what I want. We'll
Whatever.
see. I'm excited.
He was best director in back-to-back years. That's right.
Back-to-back years?
Crazy.
Wow, that is
12, 13.
Really weird.
years
Sean
older.
Penn. Speaking of Oscar winners, Sean Penn. He said, "Somebody get this guy's green card." He's like friends with him. It was like an all-time like.
But he won the second one.
Yeah, it was an all-time like. Oh, yeah, everyone knows you
Osborne.
guys are good friends.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird move. And then we'll let Klemmer comment solely on this last one. The Jimmy Stewart biopic starring KJ Apa, one of the most insane trailers of the year. Like first of all, a Jimmy Stewart impression in general just sounds ridiculous because Jimmy Stewart's voice is so like it's just so unique and different. So this was like, oh my god.
Felt like Angel Studios' version of Jimmy Stewart. It felt cheap. The cast looked cheap. It was like it was just very. There's a story to be told with Jimmy Stewart. Amazing life and one of America's greatest actors. Incredible hero. Like they kind of show it going to the war. One of the greatest lives of any American actor, and to have it be done on the cheap is so disappointing. I don't know. This made me sad.
I have the right to serve my country just like anyone else does.
Oh,
America can't lose Jimmy Stewart.
Rob Riggle playing Rob Riggle.
Someone, I don't want to take credit for it, but someone pointed out very quickly that it looks exactly like a 30 Rock cutaway.
Yeah. It does.
Just like one.
Yep. Christopher McDonald's in this as well, of Shooter McGavin fame.
It is funded by like some weird like religious production company, right? Or like
I mean that's what Neil
production.
McDonough does.
Yeah,
like, he did like the last.
Jason Alexander is also in this movie.
Yeah.
As Louis P. Mayer.
This feels like a made-for-TV movie from the '90s. Like like that's the cast you'd get like on NBC one Monday night. You'd get this.
It also is just funny. Like KJ Apa, like legitimately one of our worst working actors. No offense to the man, but
no offense.
Pretty tough.
No offense. Handsome. I think he knows what he is, but playing like legitimately one of the greatest actors of all time. KJ Apa, who like is getting outacted in Riverdale. That's crazy.
Last couple things here. Barack Obama's favorite movies of 2025. One battle after another. Sinners. It was just an accident. Hamnet. Sentimental Value. No Other Choice. A Secret Agent. Train Dreams. Jay Kelly. And Good Fortune. Kind of fucking
Same shit he does every year. Just like it's like the Oscar shortlist and then like one random thing to be like it's not the Oscar shortlist.
One thing his kids liked. Lars Ettinger is cast as Brainiac for the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. I have no problem with him casting like relative unknowns, but also it's a tough battle for James Gunn because he puts so much into his social media buzz and hype over castings and like rumors and stuff that like I think he paints himself into fucking corners sometimes. I like the casting doesn't bother me, but I do think he creates hell for himself with some of these things he does.
Am I crazy? You need big stars to sell comic book movies? Like I don't know, man. Like we talked about this with Supergirl last week. Like I think you need. I don't know if you can do this with unknowns over and over again. I don't know. Unless the budget's small. And
cop out answer. I don't know. With the new DCU, I actually don't know what the answer is. You may be right. I don't
know either. I'm asking.
Was anybody in like to go back to his other one, like Guardians of the Galaxy? Like the biggest names you had were Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper, and they weren't on screen ever.
It's true.
Yeah, and
It
even
was the guy. It was the guy from Parks and Rec, and like Zoe Saldana, who like for as much as $1 billion star, like it wasn't really that at that point. So
that's fair. That's fair.
And then Paddington director boards a new movie. Sounds great, right, guys?
The guy that did Wonka, the very same.
It's the Labubu movie, though. So yeah, get excited. How disappointing.
But I wouldn't have thought Paddington would be as great as it was. Paddington 2.
Fair.
All three? Well, mostly two. The two.
All right, we're filming this a little out of order because Kenjac had to run. He was on a tight ship here. So let's talk about things that we've been watching lately. I'll start off because there's one that I know Klemmer also watched. So I've seen some bad. I saw the movie Not Without Hope with it's like the survival movie with our boy from Chuck, Zach Levi.
Jesus.
Among other things he's in. Not a very good movie. So here's a movie I saw that I don't know if I'd recommend it to anyone because I feel like people aren't going to love it. The Carpenter's Son with Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
Kind of had a good time with this. This movie looks incredible. It looks unbelievable. Like the story is kind of not that great. Like it's kind of whatever. And Nick Cage is good, but like this movie, it's one of the better produced movies in terms of look and sound all year. It's like kind of stunning. It's
a horror, right?
Say it again.
It's a horror movie, right?
It's like a religious horror movie.
Yeah.
A remote village in Roman. I'll read the synopsis from there. A remote village in Roman era Egypt explodes into spiritual warfare when a carpenter's wife and their child are targeted by supernatural forces. And the story is kind of like whatever. It's entertaining enough. It's in the 60s for me, but this movie, the look of it is amazing. I couldn't believe it. It's like, what the fuck? I saw did you see this one, Klemmer? I don't know if you saw this one. Very not good movie. Holiday movie with Charlie Cox and Zooey Deschanel called Merv.
No, thank God. This sounds so horrible. Is it about Merv?
It's got a good dog. It's a good dog in it. Another movie that I saw recently that is not getting a ton of shine. Some people don't love it, though. I think it's like kind of one of the more underrated movies of the year. I gave it an 84. I think it's an incredible take on grief. It's called The Thing with Feathers with Benedict Cumberbatch. You can rent it now. I thought this was like a stunning portrayal of grief. I don't want to like dive too much into like how and what they do with it because I think if the less you know, the better. There's been a lot of good movies here about grief, which is kind of strange, but there have been, and this one's like right up there. I think Cumberbatch is great, and I think the way they handle it and do it is so creative and different. It was like I was like blown away by it. And then the last two here, Champagne Problems on Netflix, which is a Christmas movie with Minka Kelly. I'm going to shout out Netflix here on this one though. They actually filmed this movie they went on location. They filmed it in France, which a lot of these like small streamer Christmas movies are filmed in like one studio. They're actually at the real Eiffel Tower. I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, holy shit, they're actually there. So hey, if you're gonna make a streamer, put a little effort into it. I like that. The Christmas Ring though, Klemmer.
Oh, I thought you were doing something different.
Starring Kelsey Grammer. What a stinker this was. Holy. Actually, I had the title wrong. It's Karen Kingsbury's The Christmas Ring.
Yes. Get that right, please.
With Kelsey Grammer. This is a stinker. This is really bad.
This is tough. Kelsey Grammer playing an antique shop owner with a Southern accent, which was wild. The accent, it drifts incredibly. I didn't hate this as much as I probably should have because it was just so. It was so inoffensive. It was hard for me to hate it because it was just like trying to be nice. But this is not. Like it's like hating on. Yeah. It's hating on like a very nice dog that just pees everywhere. It's like it's hard to get that.
That's fair. I get what you're saying there.
It's a great analogy.
Money Plane, though. Money Plane.
So one movie I saw is the number 2 movie at the box office this week, and that's David, Angel Studios animated movie about the story of David versus Goliath. I gotta say, Angel Studios, this animation looks fantastic. Like they did a really good job with how it looks. The problem is, the real story of David is very bloody. If you know the story of David at all, it's when he becomes a king. It's very difficult story, and they take all of that out, and instead they just have this boring slog, and also some of the worst music you'll find in any animated musical. I think they want this to be like Disney a la early '90s, and instead it's like these really like Walmart level boy band songs. Really bad. Stay away. I would say. Not stay away from David necessarily, but because it does look amazing, but it's not very good. And then a movie I saw that Jeff also saw, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh,
Which is, I think, a fun. This is an example of how Jeff Delow just hates movies. This is
give me a break.
a fun
Turning the
slasher
tables.
film. This is just gory. It's silly. It's dumb, but it's just fun. And I think the third act is actually like pretty decent for a horror movie. I recommend.
Do you
this
like the
movie.
original?
I haven't seen the original since I was like 8 years old, so I don't really want to say. I don't
Yeah, it's just
remember.
so not for me. I guess I could see. I mean, it's not like the Terrifier movies, but like, I mean, it's just not for me. I don't know if
It's
me
not-
just being like
it's-
like I like cynical Christmas stuff, but it's just like
It's trashy horror. Don't get me wrong. This is not like
Yeah.
like a well-made movie. But if that's what you want, if you want trashy horror gore fest that's kind of like willing to laugh at itself, I think this delivers. I think that's what it wants to be. I think it's doing what it wants. So I think Silent Night, Deadly Night, not terrible. David, disappointing, despite the money Angel Studios spent on it.
yeah. I will eventually see David, but it's making money though.
It's going to make like $25 million this weekend, which is crazy.
Surprisingly,
It's
it beat out SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Apparently that's really good, by the way. Apparently the SpongeBob was like really fun and like a
think
like
I've
a
seen that
good like.
tomorrow.
I just really hate that animation they switched over to for SpongeBob.
Yeah, you do wish that they would just do the regular SpongeBob animation.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
30
I think
years old, so
millennials overvalue SpongeBob because they grew up with it and they think it's like but like I think the other generations don't because it's not making that much. It's not going to do that.
Yeah,
it's
the
it's
creator
tough.
died. Is the
Man,
big
you
thing.
got to remember the weird thing about SpongeBob is how long it's been going. It is crazy at this point. I mean, SpongeBob debuted and I was 9 years old. Like I was like the prime age for SpongeBob, and now it's like it is kind of crazy. Yeah.
I didn't watch really anything new this week outside of the movies reviewed, but did watch some Rob Reiner stuff, which we didn't touch on.
Yeah, we did
today.
not touch on it. It was kind
I
of
don't-
it all happened like right after we recorded, so
Yeah.
we kind of.
And
I made sure to put-
it's
this
not
is
something I
fine,
really want to
behind
talk
me
about
here.
either. It's really sad, but rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Watched Misery and Stand By Me, two great movies.
Went on Kirk's show on Monday. He had just a quick episode talking about Rob Reiner and just what an amazing stretch that was. I mean, just incredible. If you look at that like list of movies, Princess Bride, Stand By Me,
Spinal
what am I
Tap,
forgetting? Misery,
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men, which might be the best of that bunch. It's an incredible, and then he never got nominated for a Best Director, which is insane when you consider how good those movies were. Also did Spinal Tap, also did American President. Just an incredible run. You could argue there's like a 10-year period where he might be the best director working. From 85 to 94, 95, you could say him, Oliver Stone, or Spielberg. Like he's literally, that list is that good. He was that great of a director. And then his stuff on All in the Family, which might
Yeah,
predate
he's a good
you guys,
actor.
but he was one of the biggest sitcom stars in the world. Like, think about that career. And then Kirk made a good point on the show, Castle Rock Productions. A lot of the movies that we love, Shawshank, Matt Damon said Good Will Hunting wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Rob Reiner. Like, Rob Reiner had his fingerprints on a lot of other movies besides the ones he directed just from his production company. Rob Reiner, truly one of the greatest careers you'll ever find in Hollywood. And obviously what happened was incredibly sad.
Yeah, terrible fucking tragedy. Awful. Just awful news to read in every way, shape, and form. Anything else before we go? Before we move on to our next segment, TV stuff. I quite liked the end of It Welcome to Derry. I was pretty shocked by that whole series. Like it knows exactly what it is. It is slopped to an extent, but I thought it was really well done. And Skarsgård is so fucking good as Pennywise that it kind of just like that kind of speaks for itself. Had a kind of a great ending moment there, and I like what they're doing with that show. The next season, if they greenlight it, is going to be earlier. Like they're going back in time, which I think is a cool way to kind of go about this. So I liked it. Pluribus, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see how it ends. I
thought you were out.
I have to know what happens though. It's too interesting,
right.
but I'm not loving it though. Like I'm not like I was locked in early, and it doesn't. It's not like I'm not like I've been watching it the night it comes out, and now I got to it yesterday, which is like it's not as appointment for me. They have a very cool in this last episode. They do have a very cool David Lynch nod though. I was like, oh, I've seen that before. And then Fallout Season 2. I didn't know this came out. I texted the group yesterday. I was like, I saw a trailer during the NFL game. I was like, wait, what the? It's a now streaming, and I'm like, oh, so like, oh, I'm like, oh, like right now. Came out like 5 days ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single tweet about it. Like nothing. No post
The
about
first season
it.
was awesome too.
No Ella Purnell or Walton Goggins clips from like interviews. They did not promote this new season at all.
Is it not well received off the bat? Like,
It was their biggest show ever.
yeah, and it was awesome. It was an awesome show.
Yeah, no,
Except for
I
one
really
actor,
like
one actor, and it sucked. But everything else, it was great.
Oh my god,
I don't know,
it.
kinda,
I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
A couple of new things coming out soon. We have, I mean, Is This Thing On? I'm hoping to see that soon.
So excited! This is my #1 most anticipated movie. Like that's coming out in the next like 3 months.
Oh,
Anaconda's coming out soon, which apparently people like. Season 2 of the 90s. Season 2 has better reviews than the first season. You wouldn't know that Amazon released this show.
Bezos is hiding it.
How bizarre is that? That is very strange. And then a couple criterions here. Shout out. We have a great Discord for. It used to be the LCB Discord for our old podcast, and that's called the Film Crew now. And they do a Secret Santa for physical media, which I get involved in. Shout out to the guy in there. N-Rock got me. Red
That's
Balloon
awesome.
got the Grifters. 2 criterions here
Hell
that I did not have in my collection, and then 2 new criterions. His Girl Friday, and then this was the one I'm most excited
that's a
about.
great one.
Pee-wee. Look at that. Pee-wee in the Criterion collection.
Whoa! Is
Awesome
that Pee-wee's
to
Big
have
Adventure?
this.
Is that what that is, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure on
Have
Criterion.
you watched that yet?
4K. The disc?
On the 4K, have you watched?
No,
that?
I haven't yet. No, I just got it.
I'm curious to see how it looks. So let me know because
Yeah, I will. I would assume it looks great. I'm very excited for this.
I might need to get that. That's a
The
great.
discs are awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
that's
cool.
a great release. They actually had, for those little extended physical media here, Criterion did their announcement. They do their announcement months in advance. And for those who would like to add to their Scorsese collection, they will be releasing Go to the Flower Moon.
Fuck yes.
So if you do want to add to your Scorsese, that is.
They've been good about that. Obviously, Irishman. I feel like the later stuff, not I guess we're missing kind of the stuff from the '90s. I guess like Goodfellas and Casino and stuff. But like some of the later stuff we have gotten on Criterion.
I think the best recent announcement though was Cine Lumet's Network is in the collection now, which is awesome. So yeah, good little recap there. Let's move on to our ranking segment now. All right, here we go. Ranking time, Christmas time. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you celebrate. But Christmas is coming up, and it's Christmas movie time. So, top 10 Christmas movies, combined rankings. Klemmer, you're up first, followed by me, then Kenjac. Double Gooch, Kenjac, then myself, then Klemmer, and then me and Klemmer with the extra slots this week. So Klemmer, number 1, I already know what it is,
Yeah, I mean this is
and it's a
this
great
is
number
leg.
1 pick.
This is the easiest #1 pick and the most deserving #1 pick maybe of any list we've done. It's a Wonderful Life, the greatest Christmas movie of all time. One of my top 10 favorite movies ever. It's makes you cry at the end, makes you appreciate the holidays, makes you appreciate your friends, your family, and how important a good life well lived is. It's a Wonderful Life, one of the greatest American movies.
Angel gets his wings, sir. That's my
That is
KJ
a
Appa
movie, that's
impression.
true. That is a quote.
It's a good KJ Appa, yeah. I'm seeing it on Christmas Eve at Alamo Drafthouse in theaters.
Oh, nice.
That's beautiful.
Very excited for that. Also, whoever one of
That's
the
worth a re-release, not Coraline. That's worth a re-release watch for sure.
it's in 3D and it's colorized. The colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life. Whoever decided to do that should be.
Ted Turner, famously.
That's right.
It was on Turner, like TBS and stuff. They were
There's
colorizing.
a
Disgusting.
crazy like generational gap with that too, where my parents are of the age where they were used to the colorized version because that was the only version that played on TV for the like 3 decades. And
Well, it wasn't that long. It was a little stretch where.
Yeah, I think they said they didn't realize it was black and white until like the late 70s or 80s is when they went back to that, which is nuts.
All right, great number 1 pick. Obviously, hard to argue that. I don't think anyone could argue that. Number 2, I'm up. I'm going to go Home Alone. One of the greatest child actor. By the way, shout out to Macaulay Culkin being more in like the public sphere lately. Like it's awesome to see him like just be appreciated by people because it's like you have literally these one of those iconic moments of anybody anywhere during like a time that like it's wild to say, but like he feels like he's like part of like such traditions for people and like in family. Like Macaulay Culkin is a staple in like My Family's Christmas. So it's cool to see him more active in just podcasts and interviews and stuff lately. Home Alone is, I'll tell you what, you want a movie that makes you kind of tear up at the end, like a beautiful moment with the family at the end, him waving to the neighbor and everything. Great funny scenes with the bandits. What a Joe Pesci performance. Funny, unbelievable John Williams score, like legitimately great Christmas music, not just great for the movie as well. They work in Christmas songs as well, as good as any Christmas movie does. Like the Christmas music needle drops, and both Home Alone movies are amazing. But Home Alone, it just like it gives you that. It's funny. It's a great family movie. That Christmas feel, undeniable. So number 2 for me. Kenjac, number 3.
I'll go with one which I would say comfortably name the last true Christmas classic to me, which is, I would say, Elf. I think Elf was the last Christmas movie to come out that is like a true bona fide classic, and it's sad that it's been like 20 years since we've gotten something like that. But it's amazing. It's like it captures the childlike wonder that I think no other movie is like. Every other one feels so artificial since then. This really gets that. Will Ferrell is so perfect. Every little it has a great combination too of like humor for kids and adults, because I remember watching it as a kid, be like, oh my god, this is so funny, and then you watch it again as an adult, and like there's so much more you pick up on, and you still find it really funny. So it has so much for both, kids and adults, which I appreciate, and it really gets you in the holiday spirit as well, which is awesome. And Ed Asner, I mean,
great. That's a great Santa Claus, like a really good, like he looks like Santa, feels like Santa. Yeah, there's some really good, just like old school actors in that movie too, who just Bob Newhart, great Bob Newhart role. Like,
great job directing by Jon Favreau, and also great job for your movie too, Chris Columbus, and Frank Capra. Like these are 3 great directors, and that's doing Christmas stuff and really kind of flexing, and it shows.
Yeah.
Gooch, back-to-back picks here.
Well, I got to do it. I got to at least try Die Hard at number 4.
Oh,
that's fine.
I think it's a Christmas movie.
Is it the worst debate in human history?
Yes.
It's I think we need to just come to an agreement. So like Trump, use one of your executive orders that you love using and just like make a call. Make a call for us.
One of the last public things Bruce Willis said was that it's not a Christmas movie, though. You want to disrespect Bruce Willis?
I think for our purpose of our debate, it always just will come down to like, is it a Christmas movie or a movie about Christmas, or a movie that happens to take place during Christmas? And I think it's a movie that happens to take place during Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, if that makes sense. I think that's the big difference in like philosophically what we're talking about here.
I don't care.
See that Chris doesn't care. We're 2 versus 2. Jeff, you're the deciding vote.
I think for the sake of it, it just I don't put it on mine, but I tip my cap and
okay. Fair enough. So are we letting it slide?
Yeah, you're 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Die Hard, John McTiernan, we're putting him in with those other great directors. I love this movie. So easily watchable. I don't ever really watch it outside of the holidays. I'll be honest. I like save it. Like it's like one of those things. I love the movie and I get to save it until Christmas time. And I think that might be what a lot of other people do as well.
It's an impressive second life for a movie, which is still it would have had a second life anyway. Or it's like a third life almost. Like it has like a different branching of like way to make it popular and relevant. It is like kind of impressive in that sense.
And a movie that I think is not only a great Christmas movie, but like important to the history of movies and where we're at with, action movies today. I think it completely changed like everything. So yeah, Die Hard. And then I'll go back to the Jimmy Stewart well. I'll go The Shop Around the Corner, Ernst Lubitsch from the 1940s, early 40s, I think. Just lovely. If you've seen You've Got Mail, you've basically seen it. But I do prefer the earlier version that takes way more of the Christmas element and plays it in. It's all around Christmas time in a department store, them falling in love. Some elf elements in there too. But Jimmy Stewart, he's so great. So great. And
he is. He's good in everything, but he's got a Christmas movie voice too.
Yes, exactly.
And a
so Shop Around the
quality
Corner
too.
Yeah.
Like works.
Kenjac, you're up next.
All right, my last pick will be. It's got to be. I think it's got to be towards the top. It's a Christmas Story. It's a Christmas story. You cannot get more Christmas.
Don't give me that shit, Klemmer.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this movie.
I understand I will always understand if someone's like, I got spammed to death by A Christmas Story. I watched it too much. It's on everywhere. I'm sick of it. Like I get that. At the same time, like it is to me like a piece of Americana. Like you have a very specific
watch it
point in
once?
age that
Don't you watch it once a year too? And it's like it's
Uh,
one time a year.
I've seen it enough to last a lifetime. It's also not funny. Like a leg lamp's not funny. Like it's just not funny.
I
It's
think
hard.
the kid getting his tongue stuck on the
Fragile,
lamp is
we get it.
funny.
Ovaltine, we know. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I like it. It's one of those things like you watch it, especially for I think our parents' age group. Like it makes them yearn for that period, and then we watch it. And I'm like, I want to be in that period too. I want to be the kid getting the Red Ryder rifle, whatever. Like I like it a lot. I do feel like it's very very Christmassy because you do get the big lesson at the end with like everyone coming together. And I love that dad. I love that guy was such a great dad actor. His name's escaping me right now, but I've always enjoyed A Christmas Story. In my one time a year watching it is at Christmas though, and I understand if people.
Yep, watch it every morning on Christmas. It's I love Christmas movies that really encapsulate the Christmas, like especially old school. Like that is like, you know, end of school in December, you know, leading up to break, you know, the toy you really want, leading up to Santa Claus, the family dynamics, food. Like it brings everything about the holidays together. And okay, sure, it's not a fucking, you know, sorry, it's not Doctor Strangelove. Sorry, it's not super bad. Like, you know, I'm sorry, it's not the biggest knee slapper of all time. But like,
Not anywhere near the movies we mentioned already on this list.
oh,
Nowhere near.
Why?
It's not. It's not good. It's not a good movie. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's and also
I would agree that the leg lamp has taken too much. Like that's like ignore
That's not
the
the highlight of
normies,
the
ignore
movie to
that
me.
shit.
Yeah.
Ralphie's such a fucking dork. That's what I can never get over. He's just
Oh,
such a
it's
little
just
dweeb.
like that's. I know it's from a different
I think
era, but it's like that's like school and that's like leading up to Christmas and like wanting the gift and there's so much there.
Being forced to wear your aunt's like knitted sweater,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of it that is very relatable. Like it's
Even like who gets to pass the presents this time? Like, it's just,
yeah.
disappointing. Klemmer, but it's on the list. I'm happy.
It's a very disappointing movie. I agree.
You're
8-Bit Christmas,
gross.
way better. That was what it was called, right? The remake
I got
a
to
few
bounce,
years ago?
but I'm happy. I just want to make sure I got it.
That's a good walk off. That's a good walk off.
Gross. Go away. Get out of here.
Kenjac on a time crunch. He's in a bounce. That's a good walk off pick.
Thank
Number
God.
7 for me. I'm going a titan of comedy. You want a funny movie? Bad Santa. Bad Santa also has a heartwarming ending too. Hilariously enough, I'm glad they made the changes that they did. I'm a fan of the extended cut, Badder Santa. By the way, if you want to, you know how James Cameron said what to watch Avatar, and I'm telling you right now, it's that Bad Santa connoisseur. Watch the Badder Santa extended cut.
I've never seen Bad Santa, and so that's going to be my holiday movie this year.
It is so darkly funny. It's a great Billy Bob Thornton performance. Thurman Merman is one of the all-time characters. It is so fucking funny, and it's
Bernie.
dark, and it's brutal humor. But I'll tell you what, all I need in a Christmas movie is just a little bit of a heartwarming feeling. Even if you think that's like a dark way of getting there, or even if you think that heartwarming feeling is done in like a twisted way, like I just love that element to it. There is cynicism around this time of year as well. Like there's a cynical nature to the holidays, and I think it's okay to have something like this that's this cynical. Also, two incredible rest in peace comedic performances. One from Bernie Mac, which is excellent, and then the late John Ritter is also awesome in this movie.
What is Bernie chugging in the movie? Is it Robitussin or is it Pepto Bismol?
Metamucil.
Metamucil.
Wow. It's I think it's Metamucil. So I watch this Christmas Eve every year. I wake up and then I watch my last pick, which I'll get in a second, and then I watch this on Christmas Eve. And Bad Santa is just it's an all timer for me. I love this movie. I get why some people don't like it, but yeah, I don't acknowledge the sequel. One of the few wide release movies in the last 10 years that I will not acknowledge that movie. Just won't see it. It's like it ruins like the whole.
I don't think I ever saw
this movie. So, Klemmer, number 8 for you.
I'm gonna go with a cynical movie as well. Scrooged, with Bill Murray.
That's a good pick. I like that.
I think the funniest Christmas movie ever made. I have not seen Bad Santa yet. I think this is funnier than Christmas Vacation. I know some people might disagree with that. That's okay. It's just he's so shitty in this movie for like a good chunk of it when he's this network executive, and the parody of television, and then you just get Bill Murray being full asshole. Like he's more of an asshole in this than he is even in Groundhog Day. Like he's a dick
Oh, yeah.
in this movie, and it is so much fun to watch. I love this movie. You'll also get a little Bobcat Goldthwait and Carol Kane. It's kind of bizarre cast. Scrooge. If you haven't seen it, came out in the late '80s. It was never a giant hit, so it's been kind of like a cult favorite. Go check out Scrooge if you haven't seen it. I love this movie.
So the last two are big picks here because there's one that needs to be picked because I just don't think we can have this list without it. But there's also one that I need to pick as well.
I'm probably not going to pick the state. I don't care though. But
You're probably not. I feel like you're not going to pick Christmas Vacation number 10.
I'm not. It's close to me. It's close, but it's not.
This is where Die Hard fucked up the whole list.
That's a fair point. Actually, this is where Christmas Story fucked up the whole.
You want to know the thing is?
Oh no!
If I took Die Hard off, Christmas Vacation would not be the next pick for me.
I have Vacation as my third next pick of what's left.
Tough one for me. No, I'm gonna go Christmas Vacation. I'm gonna leave off my other one.
Oh, what are you doing?
Because I objectively speaking, picking the other one would be more of a I just want to talk about it and I want it to have shine on our list, on our graphic. But Christmas Vacation is just the better movie.
Okay.
It's the funnier movie. It is I think it's a very funny movie. I think the visual gags in this movie are as good as anything. The Cousin Eddie, the dickie under his fucking white sweater, is one of the all-time visual gags in any comedy. Big family movie for me. My dad's favorite Christmas movie. I love Christmas movies that, and A Christmas Story is kind of similar to this. I like movies that kind of do the lead up to Christmas and really just kind of nail that feeling. Even like going through the advent calendar, doing that visual to show like what day they're on and everything. The Crazy Family. I just think I think the chemistry. I think the ending of the movie is as funny as anything. When the SWAT team jumps in and when what's her friend says this man in a leisure suit broke into my home. Like I think all that shit's so funny. The rubber hose joke at the end. It's one of my favorites. Watching it tonight actually. Our annual watch is tonight on the 21st. So we'll be watching it. I know it's a lot of people's favorite, so this is probably lower on the list than many people would have it. But yeah,
it's a great movie. I know just you're maybe Die Hard. And I said Christmas Story. I think I have this way ahead of those. Well, Die Hard's great, but not for Christmas reasons.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation. Yeah, great movie. All right, last pick. What is it?
All right, I'm torn. So maybe I'll put this up to you guys. So part of me wants to do Gremlins. Part of me wants to do The Holdovers. I'm leaning more the Holdovers because I feel it's more.
Do the Holdovers. I vote Holdovers big time on that.
Okay. And Gooch, have you seen Gremlins yet?
Nope.
You guys see Gremlins? That's a must.
Oh, you've never seen Gremlins?
No, I haven't. I'll watch it before Chris Columbus comes back and makes Gremlins 3 or 4.
You should watch it like this week. It's a really good. It's a great Christmas. Like it takes place in Christmas. Has the most bizarre Christmas story you'll ever hear in any movie ever by Phoebe Cates.
What's his name?
But all right, I'm fine with The Holdovers. It's the most modern, obviously by far, movie we have on this list. Hopefully a tradition for a lot of people moving forward. I see myself rewatching this in a couple of years, and maybe making kind of a holiday staple every few years. And has an unbelievable Paul Giamatti performance. Divine Joy Randolph is so good in this. This is a really nice movie and a movie I enjoyed quite a bit. I think it deserves a spot on the list.
Yeah, I think it does as well. I think there's two big ones. One, I love Home Alone 2. I think Home Alone 2 is excellent. I think Home Alone 2's got a great ending. Oh, don't I roll Home Alone 2.
It's the first one. It's the same movie.
No, it's
not.
Doing?
No,
yes, it is. Not. It's the same fucking thing. It's an old lady with pigeons as opposed to an old man with a shovel. Like it's the same fucking thing.
Don't do that.
What are we doing here? I mean, I said that when I was 11 years old, seeing the theaters. Like,
it's a fucking Academy Award winner you're talking about there, not just some old lady playing a pigeon lady. That's disappointing to hear. First off, A Muppet Christmas Carol is the best version of A Christmas Carol. I won't hear any debate otherwise. Great. It's okay, fair. I could accept that debate a little bit, but the Muppet Christmas Carol is great in terms of traditional. It's a great Michael Caine performance, acting with Muppets. Great music, and then I am a huge fan, and I Now, this is criticism I'll understand because I know it's not everyone's favorite and people don't like Arnold. I think Jingle All the Way is excellent. When was the last time you saw it? When was the last time you saw it?
In the theaters.
Give it another chance. Give it another chance.
Oh no.
Give it
He's
give
eating
it
like
another chance.
cookies.
Give it a great Phil Hartman. By the way, all my favorite Christmas movies are all dead. All these fucking actors. Phil Hartman, John Hurt.
A lot of these are older. Like, you a big fan of
quit making
Sinbad?
them.
Yeah, but those aren't people that like. It's not like they're not like Jimmy Stewart, like John Hurt, Bernie Mac, John Ritter, and Phil Hartman. They all should still be fucking
John
alive
Candy
right now. Jingle All the Way.
They were Jingle. All right.
It is. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing. Maybe it's my age, but like that, I grew up in that era of like the hot, crazy toy that you can only get in stores that you can't find anywhere, and I think it nails it. I think it nails it to a T. Yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, he should recognize that that's his father dressed on stage. Yes, his father accidentally makes up with his family at the end. He just happens to become Turbo Man at the end. That's my Christmas morning movie with right before Christmas. I had to go back to back Jingle All the Way Christmas Story. That's got to make you sick. That's going to make you nauseous to hear that.
What sad. There's so many good choices. What a sad. I'm so glad you
love it. Oh, I just
so glad you did not
love
pick
it.
this or ninth, whatever. On your
Also
list.
had the great needle drop of Brian Seltzer's fucking what's it called? What's the song? It's
Santa Claus Coming to Town. No.
Just Sleigh Bells, like Brian Seltzer's Sleigh Bells song. Anyway, yeah. Sleigh Ride. Jingle Bells. Yeah. Love it.
Well, I have two better movies that were left off the list. Batman Returns. You could argue that's a Christmas movie. It's also bizarre as fuck. And then The Apartment is a very good Christmas movie. If you're definitely downbeat, but it's Troy McClane is fantastic and Jack Gunn.
Ooga.
You a fan?
Shirley MacLaine with that short haircut in The Apartment.
I don't like the
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous in that movie.
She's fantastic in it. Yes.
I'd also throw out White Christmas too, which I love, but people have reservations about it for
Miracle on 34th Street. I'll throw out there as well. Also the old also no, we have none of the Rankin and Bass classics on here either. All the animated ones, which that's Elf exists partly because of those movies.
I just thought we were doing feature films. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer though is
yeah, great. Oh yeah. I mean, Frosty Snowman is like 27 minutes long. People don't. I don't even remember that. Here's the Brian Seltzer Orchestra lyrics, by the way. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 57 Chevrolet. Oh, what a great song. Great needle drop and Jingle All the Way. Oh, it's so good. All right. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Hope you get some good physical media under the tree in your stockings. Wherever you are, we appreciate everyone. Hope everyone has a good, safe holiday with their family and friends. Next week, we'll be doing Big One, Anaconda, and Marty Supreme, which for many of us is the #1 movie of the year. So very excited to hear. By the way, a lot of our friends and coworkers have started seeing it through screenings, and everyone does seem to be in line with how great it is. So fingers crossed that it continues to get the hype, because I think it's well-deserved hype. We'll get into that next week. Once again, happy holidays for Kenjac, Gooch, Klemmer. I'm Jeff DeLoe. We will talk to you next time.